everybody, Linda here, the Scrapbooking Photographer. Welcome to my channel and thanks for stopping by. Today is Tuesday Inspiration and we have the inspiration this week coming from Mel, from Mel W Scrapping. This is what she's given us and it put immediately in mind of a trip to a butterfly house I did a few years ago with my camera and a girlfriend. And I decided to use this sketch from another one of our Tuesday Inspiration ladies, Jen from Kaezmum Scrapbooking. And this is day 2 of 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. So although today technically is day 3, I thought I would use Jen's sketch to document these butterflies. So the papers I ended up going with are Stampin Up ones from the Mixed Up Patterns. So these are still available and there are 6 different pieces of designer paper with 2 sides to them, and they're just really generic patterns and colours that go with a whole range of different things. So the ones that I have chosen today are 3 different shades that I think will go together okay. We've got this yellowy colour, and this I think is Strawberry Slush, and this one I thought was a good texture one to go on each corner, just to bring in a little bit of the green that is through the photos with the leaves and things. I haven't shown you the photos yet, but I will in a second. So that is Old Olive on there, so my accent colour will be Old Olive. So I've got my folder out there for little bits and pieces. And these are the photos I have chosen. Now you'll see in the sketch that there are 2 film strips of 4. So I've made these photos 2 by 2, just so I can get as many as I can onto the page. And I'm thinking they'll go on a background of Old Olive. Actually, I could do 2 strips and have some white showing in between as per the sketch. So I'll attach those first and then we'll put the page together. I cut that one a little bit short, so we'll have to make sure we get this one right. These butterflies were beautiful. It's a butterfly house where they keep the temperature at the warm sort of heat that the butterflies like. And so we had plenty of different breeds to look at, and we wandered around with our pretty much macro lenses on the whole time to get the best close-up photos that we could of all of these beautiful species. I don't know what they're all called, but I have got one particular one that I'll feature in a video later in the month. But here we are putting these together. And you can see they're not all exactly 2 by 2 because I've had to trim them out of bigger photos. So we'll make it as close as we can. Right. So I had to redo that one because I wasn't happy with the way it was cut off too much at the bottom. So we can overlap these like that, and then in the sketch we've got different shapes coming down here. So these will be the last thing to go on, but that gives us an idea of where we want these things to go. And I'm thinking we'll put green at the back, and we might just tear it. So we'll sort of go there. It's not exactly the same shape as Jen has on hers, but that's okay. We'll take a bit out of this rather than using a whole other piece. And I'll put that down this side. And then we'll use this one. Now it has to come in to cover that, so we'll kind of follow that same shape. See how that looks. We can adjust it as we need to. To make sure we tear it the right way, and you don't necessarily want the white core showing on this one, so we need to make sure we rip it the right way so that it doesn't have some showing and some not. Just even that up a bit. See what that looks like. Yep. And then this bit will probably go quite well in here. And then the yellow piece needs to go into the middle there. So let's see, out there. And again, we want the white core hidden. Cool. And on this piece, we can't use any of that down here, obviously, because we need it to sit on the top there. So we'll take another corner and rip it that way. Right, so we need to stick those together. So we've got that sort of ready. Now Jen's got some black spots on hers, but I don't think black is what I want with these. I'm going to bring out some of the white a little bit more over these bits here. So I'm just going to use the Media Gloss spray, and I will get my splash box out. We're just going to use the brush to splash some on here. I don't actually know if it's going to be enough because it's only really going to show up on that strawberry slush. So you can see that that hasn't really shown up on anything other than the strawberry slush. So we're going to use some old olive, and I'll just put a bit on the silicone mat and spritz it a little bit with some water. I'll try a little bit of plastic just to get some little bits in different places on these different colours. And where the top's going. Okay, I'll just pop that over to dry. While that's drying, I'll get the title ready, which I've cut out on the Cricut machine. And it just says Butterfly House, and on this occasion I'm not using any offset or anything. I'm just using the alphabet in old olive, so I'm still using that as an accent. I'll just peel it off here. Make sure I put the plastic sheeting back over the mat. They say that you should do that, particularly if you've got pets in the house, which we've got 3, so I don't need hair all over my Cricut mat. And the other thing I've decided here is that I'm not happy about the unevenness at the side, so I'm going to bring in a piece of the two-tone old olive and pop it behind the back there. So I'm going to cut a quarter of an inch off each of the 4 sides. So I've cut the middle out of the 12 by 12, and I've cut a quarter of an inch off each side, so that has evened up these sides quite nicely. So I can stick that together now. I'm happy with that, and I think it's all dry. Be interested to see what the other girls come up with for Mel's inspiration today. all those butterflies. I've taken the inspiration quite literally, but I'm sure there will be other interpretations if you watch through the playlist, which is listed below. Right, so we can put that there, and then we've got the two runs of butterflies, all different sorts, and I'm just thinking where this is going to best fit, and I think it's probably going to be up here, butterfly house. So using an old butterfly die cut from Close to My Heart, I have cut out the base and some top pieces out of vellum of these butterflies that just the top part has all the frills on. So rather than try and pick out another colour, I've used the vellum to highlight the old olive below and have them just blend in quite nicely with the accents that I've put around the page. So I've stuck those down, and I think we'll put a little bit of bling on the back of them, and there's also just a few different old butterflies here that I can add on. They're sort of the same colourways as some of the photos, so I'll just attach them to some of the letters because I think they look quite cute like that. And this one's got similar colourings as we're using over here, so I'll bring him in that way, oops, that way, and one more there. So that gives us 3, 3, 3 and a 1, but that's okay. We have in our folder of gems, we have some little holographic ones as well, and some gold ones. We'll pop a couple of these on because they show up quite nicely, and a couple of these little gold ones just around this one down here. They're a little bit tiny, aren't they? But never mind. One of the bigger ones up around there with two little friends. And we've also got just a couple of little silver blingy bits or clear ones just to put on the spines of these ones that we made out of vellum and old olive. If you've liked what you've seen on the video today, I do hope you take the time to subscribe. I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button and following along on the videos that come out as I progress through my albums. Take a look at the Tuesday Inspiration playlist that's listed below and see what the other ladies have come up with for this inspiration of Mel's. And hopefully there's something there that will inspire you to have a go. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and happy crafting.